What's my dream tonight? I'm in a place where every person has the right to live his life as he purposes it. But for some reason or another, there's always a tendency on the part of somebody in that place who try to curtail the freedom of another person, who say that, you're doing it wrong. You should do it this way. I woke up from this dream, realizing that every space-time is superimposed onto another. Right. You can live your life the way you want, and nobody can affect that life of yours. Every life is a space-time of its own, and it superimposes on another person's life. It doesn't affect another person whatsoever. That's right. So that's the beauty of frequencies and vibration. They don't interfere with each other until they collide because of similarity and nullification. Last point, I need to elaborate. You send a frequency that is similar to the frequency of the other party. You will resonate with the other party. The first point to remember is that there is a similarity because of the frequency. They conjoin each other immediately because of the resonance. They become one. But what happens when you become one? There is a nullification of the two separate parts. But yet, even in the nullification of two separate parts, and after conjoining, they will split up again into two parts. And that's how it is. On Earth, we all live with different frequencies, and our space-time superimposes each other. But when we resonate with the other party, only then, in that situation alone, there's a cancellation, there's a nullification, there is a conjoining, and yet there's a splitting. But other than that, if you don't resonate with the other party, your life remains completely superimposed, and nobody in the soul has a right to interfere with your life. Of course, as I said earlier in my other videos, even if they were to interfere with your life, you still can live your own life. That's right, because your own life is always your own life. The interference only takes place at the outer surface, but at the inner surface, you're always saved, forgiven, your life alone. But of course, the interference can be very upsetting. That's true. You'll find somebody telling you what to do, which you, in your mental state, would disagree. Somewhere along the line, somebody is doing something wrong. No doubt, that's true, and there's an interference. But if you're totally self-confident with what is happening, you will still understand that in your inner life, you're fully compensated. I use the word compensated, that's right. In your inner life, you're fully compensated. And this inner life compensation will reveal itself in the outer life when the universe resets it for your positioning. In other words, if someone interferes with you, you don't have to be burdened by it, because one day, someday in the future, when you count the time, you find that you'll be living in a better off state, able to manifest your true will. Yes, simply because somebody in the past had interfered with you, interfered with your freedom. before. That's not the point of my dream. The point that was bring forward in my dream was that I should live my life in fullness, even while I'm in the midst of another person's life. I'm in a group that ticks differently from me, and I'm inside that group. But yet, very interestingly, I'm told that I can manifest inside me the one life that I am meant to be, live fully that one life, while still at the same time seeing everybody living different lives from me. That's the point of the dream. All of us, we are living on earth, and we read newspapers, we see television, we see Facebook, we see TikTok, and we are greatly affected by what is happening around us. So we thought in our mind that we lived in an interfered world. And many a times, because of that thinking, we made an avoidance. We hide ourselves. We try to please other people. We try to defend the action from others. We do many things that apparently appears that we do not believe in the supremacy of our own lives. We do many things that appears that we do not believe in the I am. But instead, we find ourselves living among people, and then we allocate freedom for ourselves and another person, interfering in another person's life. That's the result of it. And we thought we are right. We tell other people that they are wrong, or we guide another person along the way. We're thinking all the time in our mind that by doing so, we are being useful, being part and active of our life. But that's not what the dream is telling me. The dream is telling me that right where I am, I can be totally me, and yet never interfere with any other person's life. And even if the person were to apparently appear to interfere with me, I'm still living in the total fullness of me. Notice what is happening. I have a tremendous responsibility in the sense that I cannot judge the other party. I must not tell the other party that his way is wrong. I can create videos like I'm doing now, sharing my life story. And it's already up to you to listen to what I said or don't listen to what I said. I don't want to push my way through for you. I don't intend to do so. But if you listen to me, enjoy yourself. You throw me away, enjoy your throwing away. No problem with me. But the most important thing is that I'm sharing myself with you. I'm saying in this video that my dream is telling me that I should live the fullness of me, but yet at the same time not interfering with anyone else. That's the most important part, not interfering with anybody else. And how can that happen? That requires tremendous wisdom. When somebody talks to me, what must I do? I cannot say that his thoughts are wrong. I cannot do that. That's the first thing. When somebody talks to me, I cannot stop him from talking to me. That person has the right to continue to talk, and I simply listen. That's right. That's what it means. To live a life completely full in myself, without interfering in any other person's life. Immediately, you may say to me, wow, then aren't your life being interfered? I mean, you have to listen to the other guy when you don't want to listen to the other guy? So isn't your life, your own life, being interfered? Interesting, right? It appears to be so. It appears to be so, but it isn't. That's correct. It's not that I'm unattached to him. I don't follow the Buddhist way. I can be stripped down, and yet I'll be talking to him. And no matter what he says, I will just simply listen and accept whatever he tells me as his right to tell me. but yet I have to live my own life in its fullness. And I don't want to interfere with his life. So how is that possible? Correct. This is a secret which I need to tell you. And that is, you have to live in the breath. There is no other way. Mentally, physically, there's a whole lot of interference because within your own space-time, there is north, south, east, west, and they are all interacting with each other within your own space-time. So you feel a lot of interference at the outer space of your life. But once you breathe in, once you do breath work, it doesn't interfere anymore. Your inner life expands. You are what you are. And you don't have to really be burdened about the future, because the future will always be in your direction. And when I said it doesn't really interfere, I don't mean that nobody will ever interfere with you. Physically, mentally, you'll find yourself being interfered. But it is you who actually created that event. Sounds very funny, very ridiculous, but it is you who actually made that event turn out to be so. It's all right, it is you. But the key thing is to concentrate on the inner life of prayer. Everything will turn out right. Although you will still feel interfered, but you find your life working out so tremendously that whatever that you want to achieve, you have got it. And interference are also minimized. And that is because somewhere, somehow, in your space-time, is changing to a better and purer promised land. How to live prayer. Follow my videos. It is a very long story. How to live prayer. You have to enter to a place within yourself, beneath thoughts. That sounds terrible and difficult and terrifying, but it is possible. Your effort matters. What I've said so far may sound so very confusing to you. Indeed so. How can we live in a space-time that doesn't interfere? And so almost impossible for it to be practical. But yet in the early part of the video I did mention and say that only with resonance will you not be interfering in somebody else's life. Because through resonance, a one is being brought forth. And although there is a splitting, but there is already a nullification and a oneness. We must live our life by resonating with others. But it may seem difficult, because when you resonate with others, you are actually walking in steps with others. You may feel that you are being interfered, but you're not. Because through resonance and through nullification, you enter into breath. And that's where your life is truly manifested. Jesus made a very remarkable statement in this connection. In a metaphorical way, he said this. He said, if somebody asks you to take off your shirt, you just remove your shirt. And if he asks you to remove your underwear, you just remove your underwear. You just do whatever he tells you. But that is the kingdom of God. When Joshua took over the place of Moses and led the people to the promised land, what was the first steps that he did? What did he tell the people to do? At the walls of Jericho, he told them to surround the place 7 times and made a very loud sound at the end of the 7th time. The walls of Jericho fell. Yes, that's true. That's what it means to live in the breath. You don't have to do anything. You simply have to hear the voice of God. In other words, you have to resonate with the other party. Walk in steps with the same frequency together, so that through nullification the breath is brought forth. That's right. So that I am is brought forth, and the world that you see become yours. So that in the process of whatever you're doing, you're not interfering with anybody, neither is the other party interfering with you. Why? Because there's a resonance. Interference comes only when you don't understand resonance. Interference comes only when you feel that you need to hide yourself, to defend yourself from others. But resonance involves a sacrifice, bringing the other party towards your life, allowing the other party to interfere with you, so to speak, so that you can walk in steps with the other party. The result of it is a miracle. I am is born. That's the whole purpose of life. Jesus said, I am is the way. I am is the truth. I am is the life. No man goes to God. No man without first going through me. This dream last night, I'm told that I can still live in the fullness of me while still in the world. I am in the world, there's no doubt that, but still I am of me and me alone.